Okay, this is Bear, who's gorgeous and cuddly. Bear is about 3 years old, and he, about 3.5 weeks or so ago, came to us when he had injured his back right leg, which has got the bandage on. He has really nasty wound to his leg. He'd lost a lot of skin and he lost some bone, and he'd really badly broken his ankle joint, or the bone at the back of his ankle. He'd damaged beyond repair a lot of his toes and some of his skin, and so when he came to us, the thought was he might have to have his leg amputated, but the owners were really keen to save his leg if we could, and so that's what we've done. We've repaired we've removed the toes that were badly damaged. We've placed a skin graft. Once we got the wound healthy, we've put a skin graft onto the wound, which is looking, last time I saw it, looking really good, so we're about to change that now. And the leg was so badly, the bone at the back was so badly broken that we can't actually specifically repair it, but we splintered the leg. So we're going to have a look and see how that's going. Ultimately, he might need this joint fused, so fixed, because of the bone damage, but we'll see. It might be able to heal itself with the splint on. So I'm hoping that we don't need to do any more surgery, but today we're just doing a bandage change on Bear. Don't cry, it's good, yeah. There's a little splint on this to stop the leg from moving around too much. So this looks great. So from here to here there was no skin. This is all new skin right across here. You can see the edge just where there's a little bit of wound still healing over here. But right across here there was wounds all the way around underneath. You see most of the toes have gone. We just have a little bit of toe tissue left. It's a bit sensitive when I touch it. But this is all taken beautifully. It almost has a normal foot. Well, apart from a few toes missing. That looks fantastic. This is perfect. This is like a couple of weeks down the track from when we put the graft on. And this is exactly how I want it to look. It's great. These little wounds will heal up in another few days or another week or so. So the good thing is that even though he's lost some toes, he's got pads, these little pads under here, and they're really important so that he can walk on his foot and not wear his normal skin down. He needs normal pad tissue, so that's great. So this was a mesh skin graft. So here's the incision where the skin came from that's been used to close this area here. So the skin that's here now was originally up here. And we've just moved it around a bit. There's a little sutures. These will eventually go. I'm just taking little stitches out because they're just going to cause a bit of irritation. If I can't get them all, it doesn't matter. Sorry, it's okay. I know, it's a bit sensitive. Okay. So the break in the bone is back here, and I can't really tell just on palpation what it's doing, but it's not that swollen, and everything seems to be reasonable. We've still got some range of motion in here. I might actually remould it this time to have it a little more flexed. We've had it quite extended to try and take the pressure off the repair, but I don't want him to end up being really stiff in the joint and end up being too straight, too tippy-toed. So we might just give it a little bit of flexion today, which will make it a little more functional in the future. I'm really happy with how this is going. We're just now going to re-bandage it with the splint, but what I'm going to do is, so at the moment I've got it splinted fairly straight, but I think we're at a point where we can probably start to flex that a little bit so that we don't want him to end up with a really straight, really stiff leg that's kind of on tippy toe. We want it to have a more normal position. Even if it doesn't have a normal range of motion, we want it to be able to stand in a normal position. This is fantastic, this splinting material. It's called sand splint or easy form sand splint. And I can put this rigid splint in boiling water and change it to any shape I want. So we can remould that to make it fit how I want to on this leg, so to make the leg sit in the right position. If we had lots of toes, I'd be padding between all the toes, but I can't do that here because we don't have any toes really left to pad between. So I just need to put the non-adherent dressing on, and then we're just putting the soft band padding dressing on. We're nearly Nearly done, Bear. So the good thing with the sedation that we've given Bear today is that we can reverse the sedation so that he'll be up and walking around again in a few minutes. There we go. Done. Shall I give it back to you? Here we go. Most important part. Beautiful. What a happy dog. What happened to your arm? You lost your arm in your little... There we go. It's all right. You've got that arm still. Didn't lose it.
So results, prognosis for him is going to be good?
Prognosis is good. The only thing we don't know at this stage, because we haven't given it long enough, is what's going to happen with the bone. So we need to probably take another x-ray in about 3 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks, and see how the bone's going. If it looks like it's healing well where it is, a splint for another month or so might be all we need to do. It's exciting, isn't it, Ben? Yeah.
So he'll spend time here? Or
no, he goes home, so he only comes in for a day visit just for the bandage changes. He'll be back in probably, we probably don't need to change that for another week or so he'll be back in another week. So there'll be a couple more bandages and then we'll take an x-ray and see what it's doing. But I'm really happy with how he's going. Are you happy? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just crossing there. So I'm off the list.
Okay, this is Bear again. Very cute little bear. Don't wriggle. Okay, so we met Bear before. He's not happy with his new hat wear. His collar is annoying him. So Bear had really bad injury to his back right foot, to a point where there was question about whether he should have his leg amputated. But the owners were keen to try and save the leg. He had multiple fractures around his ankle joint and loss of skin and most of his toes, as you can see. He's only got one toe left, which actually is broken. The good part, right there, is that he's got pads still there. So he has particularly the main pad there. So he now has complete coverage of skin because we've grafted it. It's still got to grow the hair, which will come. He hasn't got a lot of hair growth yet. Bear, it's okay. It's okay. He will get new hair growing on that eventually, when his hair starts to grow. And he now has a stable ankle joint, which is great because we weren't sure if we'd need to do something further surgery to stabilise his ankle. We still have the issue with the broken toe, which we may or may not have to remove the last toe, but we'll give him a bit of time to see how that heals. But he's doing really well, and he's just today had his bandage off, so he's feeling a bit naked with his foot exposed, and he tends to lick at his foot and chew at his foot because he hasn't seen it for so long. So we're keeping the little hat on, yes, keeping the little hat on to stop him from doing that. But I'm really happy with how he's going. We might still have to do a little bit more surgery on that toe, but I think that considering he was going to lose his leg, I think he's done well because we've given him a foot that he can use, and he does put it to the ground. He's still got to learn to do that without the bandage now, but he is using it, which is great. There you go, look at that, it's working. Beautiful. And once the hair grows back, it won't look so much like a little stick on the end. There you go. Look at you. There, every now and then he'll forget and he'll try and put it down, but over the next week or so he'll start to put it down, I think. Yeah. Now he's putting it down. Yeah. That's it. Good boy. Good boy, Bear. Good boy. Okay. Oh, you can do it. Yes, you're so clever. There we go.
I mean, I just thought, we can still use ours until it runs out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, it looks like a new one. Beautiful, Bear. You've got a leg. It's very exciting. Look at that. It's a week since we did the last bandage change with you. We were taking a whole lot of little stitches out last time. There's just a little scab I'm just removing. So the skin is completely closed now. It's completely healed. All of this area was a graft. All of that skin there came from up here. That's healed now from where the graft was taken. and the graft is healed completely now. So we have a complete coverage of new skin, and that'll start to grow hair. So Bez lost most of his toes. He just has 2 bits of toe here and here, but no claws. But the main thing that we have underneath is pads. So we've got the main pad and 2 of the toe pads, and that's the most important bit, so that he's got something to walk on. But it looks beautiful. Now he also has underneath here all the bone in this point of his ankle joint was smashed into lots of little pieces. So we still need to splint this, even though the skin's healed, we still need to splint it to support it while the bone heals. But I'm happy there's actually a reasonable range of motion in that little joint. And he doesn't mind too much when I do that. So I'm hoping that we may need to do nothing else with this little joint, that's all we need to do is to splint it till the bone heals. So the next thing we'll be doing is taking an x-ray in a couple of weeks' time. So it's been now...
So he was hit by a car, we suspect, on the 9th of April.
Okay.
He came to us on the 10th of April, and he had the first skin graft on the 17th of April.
Okay, so it's been a month, basically, since the original kind of surgery here. I think that's remarkable that it's completely healed, and knowing what the foot looked like when we started, where it had lost all of this tissue here, we had tendons and bone exposed, the ankle joint was exposed and toes were broken off. It looks great. And he's a happy little dog. When he's not sedated, he's running around on this leg, feeling great. So considering he was going to have it amputated, I think he's a lucky dog. We've saved it. It's great. He's so good. He's just so happy.
It's a miracle.
I think we've saved the leg.
You've done very well, thank you so much.
That's okay, that's
Beautiful.
what we're here for. It's so nice to be able to see, we know what it looked like, how awful it looked, and you probably remember how awful it looked. And now it looks like I wouldn't say normal, but it looks pretty good.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Thank
nice
you very
to
much,
see you.
Doctor.
You take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.